Welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Today's infrastructure support fund for 36 states. Federal government increases Unity Schools fees to. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in a moment. First in news this afternoon is Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has approved the establishment of the infrastructure subsidy removal on Nigerians. This was disclosed in a statement by the presidential spokesman, Dele Alake, saying the approval followed the monthly meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAAC) in Abuja. The new infrastructure fund will enable the states to intervene and invest in the critical areas of transportation, including farm-to-market road improvement, agriculture, encompassing livestock and water resources that will improve economic competitiveness, create jobs and deliver economic prosperity for Nigerians. Dele said the committee also resolved to save a portion of the monthly distributable proceeds to minimize the impact of the increased revenues occasioned by the subsidy removal and exchange rate unification on money supply, as well as inflation and the exchange rate. In a separate development, the federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Education, has increased the school fees of new students into federal government colleges, otherwise from the Office of the Director of Senior Secondary Education Department of the Federal Ministry of Education, addressed to all principals of federal unity schools. According to the circular entitled, signed by the Director of Senior Secondary Education, Hajia Binta Abdul Qadir, new students are expected to part with 100,000 naira instead of the previous 45,000 naira. Meanwhile, the latest fees and charge increment will affect virtually all aspects of activities of the school, including tuition and boarding fees, uniform, textbooks, deposit, exercise book, prospectus, caution fee, ID card, stash. The Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAAC) says it shared the total sum of 907.054 billion naira to the federal government for July 2023. The meeting was chaired by the Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Madian. According to a statement by the FAAC spokesman, Bawa Mokwa disclosed that the 907.054 billion naira total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 301.501 billion naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 273.225 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy of 11.436 billion naira, and exchange difference revenue of 320.892 billion naira. FAAC noted that in June 2023, foreign transfers and refunds were 979.078 billion naira. It added that the balance in the excess crude account was $473,754.57. In statement explained that the federal government received 345.564 billion naira, state government received 295.948 billion naira, and local government councils received 218 billion naira. In a separate development, following the removal of petrol subsidy and the recent hike in petrol prices to up to 617 naira per litre, the National Executive Council and EC has agreed on palliative measures for Nigerians. The decision was reached at a meeting held at the council chambers of the State House in Abuja. During the meeting, government officials were urged to reduce the cost of governance in various spheres. This is even as the federal government initiated a 6-month cash award policy for public servants. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino has sent names of commissioners and special advisors to the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly for screening and confirmation. They include Ukodom, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Sir Monday Uko, Idongeset Etiebet, Dr. Nsikan Nkan, Bob MM, Captain Iniobong Ekong, retired, Basi Okon, Sir Charles Udo, Omanesan, Dr. Ofyong Ofo, Kamilu Sumo, Unoit Muno, Utuekong, Raphael Basi, and Yefiok Nkom, Professor Inoibanga, Frank Archibong, Professor August Umo, Dr. Ini Adiakwan, Comrade Ini Ememobong, D. Imor Moffat, Eno Mbobo, Joseph J. Atum, General Oko is then retired Special Advisor, Amanam Nkara. In his ruling, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Dr. Udemotong, referred the list to the House Committee on Justice, Human Rights and Public Petitions for further legislative actions. Meanwhile, Electricity Consumers Forum Akwa Ibom State has called on the state government to guarantee the supply of meters to consumers by putting modalities in place to pay for Esther Otoyo on consumers' rights and obligations. She completes the story.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has been empowered by the Electric Power Sector Reform, EPSR Act 2005, to ensure an efficiently managed electricity supply industry that meets the desires of operators, recover cost on prudent investment, and provide quality services to customers. But some consumers of electricity have complained of outrageous bills, popularly called estimates.
They'll come and disconnect you, take away your wires. And I knew that was wrong, because the Regulatory Commission has rules for that. And then for estimated bills, there are also regulations that must be complied with before they issue you with estimate.
Rose from 6 to 11,000. I'm talking about mine specifically. I live in a 3-bedroom apartment. 1,000 from some 3,000. As I speak with you, the last bill, because I asked PhD, is it that the electricity, the power they supply to us will be changed? Did it?
They have not given me meter, so it is a problem to me right now. It's a serious problem, given a prepaid meter.
Meanwhile, Barrister Clifford Thomas, a legal practitioner, has disagreed with the plans of the power distribution companies to...
We condemn the proposed increment in electricity tariff for Nigeria. Subsidy has never sue PhD. You can sue PhD and win.
In Uyo, Esther Otoyo, Spectrum News.
The general public on some etiquette that can control the spread of tuberculosis. Speaking with a correspondent on ways to control tuberculosis, Dr. Nkeruem said people should be will control the spread of tuberculosis. The correspondent Blessing Dixon completes the story.
Studies tuberculosis and about 590 new cases occur. The institute cases are left undiagnosed nationwide. Tuberculosis affects the lungs, but it can also affect other parts. How tuberculosis can be controlled, while emphasizing
good. It's but it has limited use. Separating the young people reducing drug usage. We must try to educate the people on how to. He's still coughing without handkerchief, without covering his mouth.
A popular session quips, prevention is better than cure. Let's all take steps to prevent the spread of tuberculosis.
GWR is urging Africans to emulate Nigerians in their pursuit of breaking records. Guinness World Records Editor-in-Chief Craig Glende, since Chef Hilder hit the headlines. Speaking further, Glende said he loves to see people passionate about record breaking, and he expects more Africans to set records. However, they emphasized the importance of registering their attempts beforehand and adhering to the rules. He added that GWR should be notified first so they can address rejected. Still in Africa, thousands of new Somali refugees are struggling as food insecurity worsens in Kenya's Dadaab refugee camp. Recall that Somali's Dadaab refugee camp, one of the world's largest refugee camps, located 90 kilometers from the Somali border. Speaking with newsmen, the World Food Program's head of programs at Dadaab, Colin Bulletti, said families that used to prepare probably 3 meals a day have now reduced to prepare either 2 meals or a meal a day. Meanwhile, Kenya's government in the future. On a foreign scene, the U.S. is commercial ships there. According to U.S. officials, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin approved the deployment of the U.S.'s Baton Amphibious Readiness Group and the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit to the Gulf region. The Readiness Group consists of 3 ships, including the Baton and Amphibious Assault Ship. An expeditionary unit usually consists of about 2,500 Marines. In an announcement, U.S. Central Command said the deployment and development will provide even greater flexibility and maritime capability in the region. And still on a foreign scene, the White House has confirmed that Ukraine is using U.S. cluster bombs against Russian forces in the country. National Security spokesman John Kirby, cluster bombs scatter multiple bomblets and are banned by more than 100 states due to the threats to civilians. The U.S. allegedly agreed to supply them to boost Ukrainian ammunition supplies. As Ukraine has promised, the bombs will only be used to dislodge concentrations of Russian enemy soldiers. Still to come in the news. Bayer Leverkusen in advanced talks to sign Nigerian striker Boniface. Just stay with us. Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Over now to our business news. On our business news, the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, has said that assets under the contributory pension scheme rose by about 2 trillion naira in the first half of 2023. Figures obtained from PENCOM's unaudited report on pension funds industry portfolio for the period ended 30 June 2023 on approved existing schemes, closed pension fund administrators and RSA funds, including unremitted contributions. According to the figures, the assets rose from 14.99 trillion naira as of December 2022 to 16.76 trillion naira as of the end of June 2023. The bulk of the assets invested in the federal government securities rose from 9.64 trillion naira to 10.86 trillion naira. Invested include domestic and foreign ordinary shares, corporate debt, securities comprising corporate bonds, corporate infrastructure bonds, corporate green bond, and supranational bonds as well. Still in business, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has commenced an extensive probe into the recent incident involving water contamination and the fuel tanks of certain aircraft. The NCAA said the move was to prevent future occurrences of such safety breaches. Speaking at a meeting with domestic and international operators, aviation fuel suppliers, and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Abuja, the Director General of NCAA, Captain Musa Nuhu, stated that the agency was intensifying its investigation to determine the root cause of the issue. According to Nuhu, the issue of fuel contamination was beyond the purview of the aviation ecosystem, hence engagement with the regulator of the downstream sector. He added that the collaborations has become imperative because of the noticed gaps due to the lack of deliberate collaboration between NCAA, NMP, NMDPRA, and FAA on fuel quality monitoring. In health, the Association of Resident Doctors, University College Ibadan, Oyo State, has embarked on a 3-week warning strike to press home their demands for improved welfare packages and other issues presented to the hospital management, rising from an emergency meeting summoned to further assess the situation after the expiration of a 2-week ultimatum earlier issued to the management. The doctors were dissatisfied with all the issues raised, were not attended to, thus necessitating the industrial action. The association stated that it is basing its demands on the unsatisfactory progress made so far in IPPIS capturing of newly employed resident doctors. And still in health, the Kaduna State Ministry of Health has linked the deaths of 10 children in some communities in Kafanchang, Jamal local government area of the state to an outbreak of diphtheria disease. The state governor, Uba Sani, in a statement by his chief press secretary Muhammad Shehu, directed the emergency health team to immediately investigate the matter, which was later confirmed to be diphtheria. Report says the confirmation came after several reports were made about residents in Takal Ward, Kafanchan, and Kafanchan B wards, exhibiting symptoms listed as difficulty in breathing, high fever, cough, general body weakness, sore throat, and neck swelling. Meanwhile, the governor commends the health officials on their prompt response to the health emergency and urged them to continue to carry out their task diligently to ensure that the disease was contained and subsequently eradicated. Talks with Union Sands Giloy's for Nigerian striker Victor Boniface report says personal terms between Boniface and Leverkusen have been agreed and a deal is believed to be worth over 20 million euros. Recall that the 22-year-old scored 17 goals in all competitions for Union Sands Giloy's last season. Held Olympic champions Canada to a 0-0 draw in a thrilling contest at the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium today. The Super Falcons finished the game with 10 women after Deborah Abiodun was sent off late on for a poor challenge. Canada dominated the first 20 minutes of the game, knocking the ball around with confidence, speed and precision. Veteran forward Christine Sinclair came close to scoring the opener for Canada early, but her effort sailed off target. Both teams failed to break the deadlock but head into their next games with great confidence following a spirited display. The Super Falcons will take on co-host Australia in the next game on Thursday, July 27, while Canada will face debutants Republic of Ireland the same day. On our entertainment news, American donation of over 200 million naira to Nigerian orphanages across the Federation. The David Adeleke Foundation DAF made the announcement via Davido's verified Twitter account in an official press release which read that the singer donated 237 million naira to 424 orphanages across the country. According to Davido, he did not achieve this feat alone, stating that the donations was put together through contributions by individuals and corporations across various sectors and regions of the country. Davido expressed gratitude to the donors and said he always wanted to serve people. Still on entertainment, songs by Nigerian musicians Burna Boy and Iris Star have been included in former President of the United States of America Barack Obama's key terms, and Rema have met President Obama's playlist in the past. According to a report, Iron Man on Rema's debut EP made the 2019 Obama's summer playlist, while Wizkid and Tems' hit song Essence was included in the 2021 Barack Obama's summer playlist. And that's what we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.